boxes that we're going to be providing to families all across our division. And those meal boxes are the traditional turkey dinners with all the fixings and all the items that you would need to make a proper holiday meal. We know that the holidays are not just about meals. We know it's about family, and we know it's about sitting around the table and sharing stories and being able to celebrate some successes. And if we can bring a one day of normalcy to someone's life by providing these holiday meals and allowing them to sit around and be thankful and celebrate their families, then we have done our job. We will continue to serve people food. We are also going to continue to serve the homeless populations. Our homeless shelters have been at capacity for many months, even during the COVID rise in early March and April. And we continue to operate homeless shelters, bringing folks in from all over the city, working with them to not only find a warm place to stay, but also working with them and trying to break that cycle of poverty and homelessness by providing them the tools and the resources necessary that we can help them move on from the homeless shelters into an apartment or a home or a place that they can call their own home. The other piece that is increasingly growing, not only through COVID, but where you're seeing the increase happen during the holidays as well, is the need for emergency assistance funds. We have over a 500, and sometimes in some of our locations, close to an 800% increase in demand for financial assistance. What does that mean? It means if you are living in a home or an apartment and you can't pay your rent because you've been out of a job for a number of months, we are here to help. If you cannot afford your utility bills and they're at risk of being shut off, we can help. We can only help so much, though, because there's only so much money to go around. Let me give you this startling fact. Most of our locations across the division, and we've got 28 different locations, we call them core facilities, is we typically, before the pandemic, would have about $5,000, maybe $7,000 a month that we would be able to use for financial assistance, rent, utilities. Typically, that would take somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks for us to exhaust those funds every month as we work with community members. Since the pandemic and since Christmas has begun in October, we are running out of those funds within a week of them being available every month. Last month, one of our cores, within 3 days, they were depleted of their allotted funds for the emergency assistance, which means we need to find other ways to be able to develop resources that we can provide assistance to these families and keep them in their homes. There's an intersection down in the city of Chicago, and as I've joked with some other people, but I'm very serious when I say it too, is there's an intersection that is right in the epicenter of Chicago that is also one of our largest epicenters of the opiate crisis. And we have a great team and a great officer down in that area that is not only providing food via mobile facilities such as trucks, taking food and coffee to the homeless that are out on the streets, making over 30 stops a day to try to provide nourishment. But they are also out walking the streets and trying to speak with the individuals who are in the midst of either dealing drugs or using drugs at this particular juncture. Obviously, when there's despair and hopelessness, especially during a pandemic, and you don't have work, people can turn to substance abuse. And our goal is to try to work with them and to help them break that cycle so that they can, again, be clean and help them be a part of productive society. One of the things that is very difficult for us is the Salvation Army. Most people know and have heard of the Salvation Army. They know the wonderful shield. You can see the shield behind me. It looks like I'm actually wearing horns, the way my face is. But the Salvation Army is very much known and iconic for ringing bells. And that's what a lot of people know about the Salvation Army. Oh, they ring bells and then they help the homeless or they help the needy. As you can hopefully see, we are a lot more than just ringing bells. There are social services in every community and services in every community that we are providing to the individuals that need us most. This year is very difficult for us with the pandemic and the advisory lockdown by the city and the state. Our kettle revenue is down by more than 50%, and that is a difficult thing during the Christmas season, which is October through January 31st for us. We bring in and generate about 70% of our revenue for the year during those months through the generosity of donors and partners all across this division. They help us generate that revenue that we can again then provide those services. That revenue is going to be down this year. That revenue is going to be difficult to recoup with the reduction in kettles, and that's where we're going to be asking all of our friends, all of our partners, and all of our stakeholders to reach out, talk to someone who, if you've never spoken to them before about the Salvation Army, challenge them to learn a little bit more about it, educate them on what we do, invite them to visit our website, invite them to make a donation. Every donation matters, and every donation helps. In fact, right now on Giving Tuesday, we have a match of $1 million. We've had some very generous lifelong donors that have helped put together $1 million match. So every dollar that is raised today on Giving Tuesday will be matched by those donors. This is a huge help for us. It is basically helping double the impact of the dollar that is given to the Salvation Army. Between 83 and 90 cents of every dollar at the Salvation Army goes right back to our programs. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. That is a huge amount of money that goes right back into our programs. So 83 to 90 cents of every dollar that you give goes right back into your communities. And it's not just the city of Chicago or the suburb of Elgin or out in Rockford. The money goes back into your local community. So if you're from Rockford, your money goes into Rockford. If you're from the city of Chicago, your money goes right to the city of Chicago. We believe in keeping the money local. We believe in helping the folks right on the ground that need us most. This is a time of year where we appreciate all of the generosity that everybody has given. But it is also a time of year where we have to ask, and we have to look at everybody in the eye and say, how else can you help? And it's not just necessarily by writing a check, but we have wonderful opportunities to bell ring and be a volunteer in those areas. You can also be an advocate for the Salvation Army. As I mentioned, talk to your friends, talk to your colleagues, share with the business that you work with about the Salvation Army and the wonderful things they're doing, and ask them to be a part of rescuing Christmas. I've blabbed a lot and I've talked a lot, and I've probably talked very, very fast. I wanted to open it up to a couple of questions. I know Jackie is on the phone here. She's from our office and she's going to kind of be the moderator. Happy to take any questions that you may have, to share a little bit more about Rescue Christmas, a little bit more about our vision for the Salvation Army. And before I open those up for questions, for all of those that you're on today, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your commitment to these local communities and to the people that need us most.
Okay, Stephen, we do have a question. With kettles down, clearly donations are needed, but what really is the impact of our donations?
That's a great question. Fantastic question. So what is the impact of your donations? The great thing about the Salvation Army, I've been in this business for almost 2 decades, a little over 2 decades. And many of the organizations I've worked for, we've raised money, and that money is used for the future, to develop programs in the future, develop science in the future. The beautiful thing about the Salvation Army is that every dollar that comes in goes immediately back into the community. So if you're looking for impact, if you're looking to see change, if you're looking to see someone benefit from the dollar that you are giving, it's going to happen immediately. And we have a variety of ways that that's going to happen. Certainly during Christmas time, we've got an angel tree drive where we are collecting toys and presents for children under the age of 18 and for seniors. If you can't give a gift, but you want to donate towards that program, we take all 100% of that donation that you make, and we put it back into that program and provide the toys and the gifts to the families that need that. If you're interested in feeding and you want to make sure that a household is fed, whether you give money to the holiday meal program, where we are serving over 15,000 people across the division, or whether you live in a certain community and you'd like to invest in the food pantry and the core that is there. Those are immediate investments and immediate impacts. We are touching and serving people on a daily basis, sharing stories, having conversations, figuring out what is next for some of these families. In summary, we're changing lives, and we're changing lives on a daily basis. And I believe that there's very few organizations out there that can say that. And it's something that I'm very humbled and proud to be a part of.
Okay, cool. A couple more. Everyone wants to help social services now, but what about the future when the pandemic is over?
Sure. So the future is going to be difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. Social services is always going to be there, and there's always going to be a great need for social services, whether we're in a pandemic or not in a pandemic. Certainly, after the virus is gone, you're going to see a lot of organizations in the arts and in the medical field that are going to be working very, very hard to start ramping up their efforts in resuming their businesses. That's great, and that's fantastic, because we need those nonprofits to do their work as well. The interesting thing about what we do is, even after the pandemic is done, the lasting effects of what the pandemic has done to our communities is going to last a very long time. So we are going to need to be able to do things such as provide job training, help job placement, provide continued rent and utility assistance while people are trying to find jobs and get back on a steady income. I read something in the Chronicle of Philanthropy, which is a big journal for philanthropic organizations, that I heard in the city of Chicago there could be upwards of I'm sorry, not just city of Chicago, across the country, could be upwards of between 9 and 12 million evictions coming the first of the year. That's a lot of evictions. Where are all those people going to go? What are they going to do? How are they going to survive? That's where the Salvation Army comes in to be able to help navigate that. And I don't believe that just even when the virus goes away, and hopefully that's soon, I'm not knocking on wood, but say it goes away by summertime, there's going to be still years and years of work that we need to do in the communities to make sure that everybody gets back on a level playing field.
Okay, and then two questions about what people can do right now. One, how to do a virtual angel tree or any angel tree. And then one about how can they still do bell ringing, and is it safe?
Great question. So virtual angel tree or an angel tree, I am happy to grab contact information and get you in touch with our volunteer department. Susie Brashler, who's there, she is handling a lot of our angel tree activities. She'd be happy to help you set up an angel tree for yourself or for your company, or if you're just looking to purchase a tag or provide some toys and some gifts off of that tag. We can certainly direct you in that way as well, and we would love your support on that. Also, if you go into our Walmarts, most Walmarts have an angel tree on. We have a wonderful national partnership with Walmart, And I know where I live out in the suburbs in St. Charles, our Walmart has the angel tree proudly presented in the front by the registers. You can go on and you can take a tag, and then there's actually a bin where you can go back and drop off your toys and your gifts for that donation. There's a lot of opportunities for you to engage on that, and I certainly appreciate you asking the question. Remind me of the second question, Jackie. Was it what else was there besides angel tree?
It was can people still ring bells, and how is it going to be safe?
Yes, so you can still ring bells. We have a wonderful woman by the name of Sarah who handles all of our bell ringing all across the division. She's got quite the job that not only happens between October 1st and the end of December, but many, many months leading up to this process. Obviously, as we were navigating COVID, we were trying to figure out what's the best way to be safe. Certainly, making sure that everybody has the proper PPE, proper precautions as we stand outside, wearing the proper masks, following all the guidelines that we have with our partners, such as Walmart and Jewel and Walgreens and Mariano's. We do everything we possibly can to be safe. We have the ability to wipe down the kettles as well at a moment's notice to make sure that we are feeling clean and safe during that process. But we're also outside and trying to social distance during that period of time. So we not having a lot of intimate, in the sense of inches, contact with our individuals. Can you still bell ring? Yes, there are certainly corps that are looking for volunteers, and our corps are our locations all across the city. I certainly can get you in touch with Sarah, who can help you find out where your local bell ringing area is at. And we've got a great service called Register to Ring, where you can get on, register, pick your time slot. And Jackie, we may even be able to provide that website if they want to go on and take a look at that and search from there.
Yep, I just put the website into the chat function.
Perfect.
For Register to Ring, and I'll put the Angel Tree website there as well.
Great.
If anybody has questions, go ahead and pop them in the Q&A section. That looks like that's it, Stephen.
That look like that's it. Okay, well, fantastic. Well, again, I certainly appreciate you taking the time today to tune in. As I mentioned, we're going to have more of these, and there'll be more impressive people besides me coming on. We're hoping to build up so that our CEO, Lieutenant Colonel Richardson, will be one of our featured speakers before the holidays next year. But we hope to bring on a lot of great special guests, in the sense of some of the individuals from social services and some of our great programs that we run throughout the year. As I mentioned, Rescue Christmas is a very, very busy time for us because there is a lot of things that we need to do for the communities, but our work is not going to end on January 31st. There's going to be a lot of work that we need to do in our communities where we live and work to help serve the people that need us most. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, as different as it may be this year, and more importantly, I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas season and a wonderful Christmas holiday. Certainly, we can follow up with any of the actionable items that we have here today, so that you can get involved with the Salvation Army. I appreciate all your support at whatever level it is, as a volunteer, as a donor, as somewhere in between. We do appreciate it, and it certainly means a lot, not only to our team and our staff, but more importantly, it means a whole heck of a lot to the communities and the folks that we serve out on the streets. So I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great holiday season. Thank you.